Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new show, The Only Women in the Room, where we're speaking to women who are out there. They're game changers. They're doing their thing. They are breaking glass ceilings. They're bringing down walls. They're challenging the status quo, and they're out there changing the world. Listen, kudos to you. I'm sending you much love and light. Power to you for all that you do and all that you bring into the world. Welcome to this live stream. Super excited because the ladies that we have on stage today are phenomenal in their own rights in everything that they do. And so I promise you today, you are going to walk away with some power. You are going to walk away with something that you didn't think about or needed reminding of or needed activation in. And so today, you're going to be elevated. That I promise you. So we're going to bring on, I'm going to bring to the stage the members of the crew for today. And today's topic is what you don't want to self-sabotage in 2023. So listen, we're humans, right? We've been through a lot. And so we've done some self-sabotaging here and there. And some of you, maybe you self-sabotage some of your money. Some of you, maybe you self-sabotage in your intimate relationships, in your sex life. Some of you may have self-sabotage in your mental space. And so today we're going to drop some gems. We're going to drop some power. We're going to drop some education. We're going to drop just all the juiciness and goodness so that we move into 2023 in our power. We're not waiting till January 1st. We're changing and shifting right now so that we can move into 2023 in our power. So let me bring to the stage. I'm going to start with Heather. So come on in, Heather. Heather is a Christian sex coach, and she has so much to drop today. So Heather, I'm going to allow you to just introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, first of all, it's such an honor to even be here with everyone, and I'm so excited. I love talking about inner power and empowerment and female embodiment and all of the things that I think are really missing from our lives. And for me, it's we've been pushed down by the man. It's like so many rules in society have been implemented by men trying to keep females playing small. And that has shown up in our relationships. It's shown up in our sex life. It's shown up in business and how we raise our kids, like everywhere. And then we wonder why we're so unhappy. So if you're just getting to know me, my name is Heather. I am a sex coach for Christian couples. And primarily, I love to help women in a Christian marriage to truly learn how to unleash her sexuality. Everything that has been told to her that is wrong and dirty growing up in the church was actually wrong. God created us to feel abundance in the bedroom, and that is who I am and what I love to talk about. And so I can't wait to get this conversation going. Back to you.
And I can't wait to get this conversation going because I know that there's all kinds of fires lighting off in people's heads right now, whether they're watching live or they're watching on hashtag. I already know it. And I can see, I know the audience can't see, but I can see Marissa in the backstage and she is like, yes, let's get it. Because I know she's on the same wavelength. So I'm super excited. Heather, I absolutely love what you're doing. I love how you just dive right in the like, let's go, let's get it. I love that. Because and what the way that I kind of phrase it is this overarching, right, overextended male energy that we've been under now for this generation, just this overextended male energy that really was put in place because they thought if we keep the woman in her place, then that will be good for the collective. That will be good for the whole. That will be good for society. That will be good for, for the family. And that was the going thought. But we now know that that was not the case, right? That actually caused a lot of trauma, a lot of tribulation, a lot of imbalance in the family and with kids. So now we're here to raise the other side of the story, right? And bring balance. So I love that you're here and I can't wait to get the conversation started. Let's bring on the one who was cheering you on and was like, let's go. Marissa, come on up to the stage, introduce yourself, let the people know who you are and what your magic is.
Oh, hello. Hello. Yes, I was so excited talking about abundance in all aspects of life. My name is Marissa. I am a free, courageous, authentic woman, and I am what is called your embodiment doula. We all know that a doula is someone who provides emotional and physical support to a mother as she's giving birth, and I am here to provide emotional, physical, and spiritual support to Black women across the globe. And what I do is ignite the fire within Black women across the globe to embody their most spicy, sensual, and sacred life. And I do that through orgasmic breathing workshops and classes, as well as immersive experiences in like a mastermind setting. And lastly, through retreats. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be here with you all. And let's get into it.
So, listen, I just absolutely love what you said because I think now is the time for you to truly come into this power. I think women and Black women, particularly all over the world, are like ready to be ignited, ready to be lit up. And I know that a lot that are listening now, listening on hashtag, are like, what the is orgasmic breathing, and let's get it. So I can't wait for you to talk and let us know what that is. But
Yeah.
one more person to bring on at this time is she is a powerhouse in her own right in what she does. And so, Emanuela, come on up to the stage. Let the people know what you do and what your magic is.
Hi, ladies. Oh, so excited to be. I just love the way you say my name with that Spanish for Emanuela. I just I love it. I'm so excited to be here to be among such beautiful, powerful women in their own right. Like you said, I am Emanuela Rodenberg. I am a certified dating and relationship coach for Christian women. So my passion is teaching women how to attract, identify, and have the right kind of relationship by choosing the right life partner from the start. I'm passionate about helping women identify what does it take to attract the right man. How do you know he's the one? And once you get them, how to keep them. And then I'm going to turn them over to Heather to teach them how to keep it spicy. So I just love this a whole team here.
Yes, and I love that because it is really a team, right?
It is.
It really is a team, and together we're stronger, right? And that's really the truth. That's really what this is about. Together we're stronger, and the more of us that actually realize that, and the more of us that actually realize that we need these different components in our lives, right? It's not just
Mhm.
about money wealth. It's not just about, relationship wealth. It's not just about mindset. Like we need all the components for us
Mhm.
to be our best selves, right?
Right.
Our best selves, and what I like to say, our next level selves, right? And so
Yes.
I know for certain that people who are listening to this live are like, I'm ready to be my next level self. So yes, you listen on a hashtag. I would love for you to hashtag my next level self.
Ooh, I
Yes,
love it.
I love it too. The spirit just dropped that in me right now. My next level self. Absolutely. So that's what this live is about. And without further ado, let's go ahead and tell the people what we don't want to self-sabotage in order to be our next level selves. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I
Mm.
have my own juiciness to give, but I really I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna drop this, and then because all three of you are like really close related in this space, we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in here. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right. So I'm gonna share my personal story, and then I'm gonna just have you all just like dive right in. Okay. So I am what I call a victim turned survivor turned thriver, right, of sexual assault and domestic violence. I had a lot of that in my life, starting really in kindergarten throughout my life.
Mm.
And then I left my domestic violent partner and met my husband, I think 2 years later. And then we got married, I think a year later. Right. And so I brought a lot of baggage, and I said it in the beginning in one of the earlier episodes of my podcast that he should have left me. I used to tell him that all the time, like, you should have left me because I was so much trauma and baggage. Like I just and I we couldn't enjoy the relationship because I was carrying so much. And I put that on him because I didn't know, right? I didn't know how to heal. I didn't know what I didn't know. And was asking him to be a lot of my happiness, not understanding that I needed to heal and I needed to go within and find my own happiness and and recreate actually my own happiness, because so much had been destroyed. But very specifically was the sex. And it wasn't so much, not like Heather's story. I know she's going to share a little bit of hers where we weren't having sex, but it was traumatic sex, right? And what I had to come to realize after years is that I was self-sabotaging my own sex life. And here's why. Because I was healing, I was doing the things, right? Doing my healing, doing my books, doing my self work, listening to, having therapists here and there. And then I eventually found Reiki, found energy healing, and I was doing the things, but I was neglecting that piece because I didn't think that it was important. And I didn't think, a lot of it comes from a very, very, very conservative Christian background where it was like, right? I'm getting to my next level self and everything except that, right? and and that's why I say self-sabotage, because while I was making strides in all the other things, I was choosing not to make strides there. You know what I'm saying? And so I came into this space where, no, actually, I deserve to enjoy. I deserve to delight. I deserve to be pleased. I deserve, right? Like I had to come into. So in Reiki, we talk about the archetypes of the different chakras, and for the sacral chakra, I had to come into my Empress self. Okay, that it was okay. Yeah, I know you feel that, Marissa. Like it was okay for me to walk in my Empress self, right? And to be pleased. So I would love for you all to dive into that. What you don't want to sabotage in 2023 in your love life, your sex, your relationships, and your fire. All right, who would like to go?
I'll totally go if it's all right. This is Heather. Sex Coach Heather. You know what? I relate a lot to your story. And actually, I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that you had that background. So now I know why we have this intense bond. I mean, it's so intense. I really feel like, you're my blood sister because we have that background. And it makes sense. So for me, I also grew up in a Christian home. And very, very conservative. Anytime I had a question, my mom was not open to talking to me about sex. As a matter of fact, I even wrote about this story in my book, and my mom's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you put that story in there." But this one time I was like 15 or so and had a major crush on this guy down the road. I mean, you guys, his body, everything was just like banging. And I had fantasies about him, drool. I was like all the things.
Not the
And
drool.
so this one time we were all hanging out at his house, all the neighbor kids. It was at his house, just, eating whatever. And he came up to me and he sat next to me and he said, "Heather, do you want to give me a blowjob?" And I was like, I didn't know what that was. But my reaction to him was no, because I didn't know what it was. And then I went home and 15, you should have at least heard the word. Like I literally had not heard the word. And so I went home and I asked my mom, "What's a blowjob?" And she said, I swear to God, Emanuela, you would have died. She's like, "What? Who said that word? I'm going to call their mom. This is not right. No one should be talking to my kid about sex, And so that reaction, though, from her made me so uncomfortable that I never asked her a question again. And so anytime I had a question about sex, I would just go to my friends. And most of us didn't know because we were all in the same church, growing up. And so then you kind of get older and then then you're thinking about marriage and things like that. And you meet your person that you're in love with and all that. And because the sex conversation is so freaking uncomfortable, you don't even talk about it before you get married. You just assume in your head, Now God says it's okay for me to have sex, so I'm just going to have all this sex, and anytime I want it, I can have it. Anytime he wants it, he can have it. We're going to do all the things. We're going to discover each other's bodies. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to like flow, and it's just going to be like freaking amazing. And then you get married and you're like, what are we doing? And you don't want to hurt each other's feelings, so you don't really share like, I don't like that, or do you mind if you don't do it that way or whatever. And so my husband and I, for a very, very long time, just dealt with inside, we're unhappy and we would like it to be better, but we don't want to hurt each other's feelings. So we just didn't talk about it. And then we had a bunch of trauma and different things in our marriage. Like I had 2 miscarriages, very, very traumatic. We got up to 5 months. So we already knew the sex of the baby. And then, the heart stopped beating. So very, very, very traumatic type of experiences. And my husband didn't want me to get pregnant again and have to go through that pain for me. He didn't want to go through that pain. And so then that started our sexless period. So it was just out of the blue, we stopped touching each other. And I was still interested, but he pulled back and I could never figure out why. And so that went into our 12 years of sexlessness. So
Listen, did y'all hear what he said? She said 12 years.
12.
She didn't say 12 days, y'all.
No, 12. I know some of you can't go 12 minutes without sex, but yeah, 12 years. And because I'm a believer and God says, don't divorce, I was just like, this is how it is. Even though I was trying to go about and try and figure out like, how can I bring the sex back? I went to therapy. I bought all the books. I listened to the podcast. I even went to my pastor and I said, hey, we're having marital problems. Can you please help us? Nothing is working. I've talked my face off and nothing's happening. He's like, oh, we don't talk about sex. You're going to have to go to a regular therapist. So my husband and I went to a regular therapist, and even that guy didn't talk about sex. It was just the other stuff, our background, our past. And so we never were given like real solid tools to apply to make our marriage better. And so when we figured out what the heck was happening and we learned how to overcome this period, that actually inspired me. Like, no, I do not want another woman to ever go through a sexless period in their life. I don't want anyone else to feel dissatisfied or lonely or frustrated or feel like that temptation to cheat or to flirt or to have an open relationship because they're not getting what they need at home. And I want to protect the family unit, and I want to do it in a godly way where we could figure this stuff out and unlock the keys of abundance. So I'm very, very passionate about this, and I hope that you guys love this story, and I will pass it back over to you.
So I appreciate Heather's story, right? Whether you may come from a Christian background or not a Christian background, you may come from another religious background, you may come from a conservative family that maybe doesn't have religion at all and still had the taboo of sex, right? And so you may not even know what the stuckness is, right? You may not even know in detail what the ickiness or the ooh or that feeling is. But I would love for Marissa to jump in now because she used the word reignite, right? And so a lot of us feel like some of the passion, and not just the passion sexual, but passion for creativity, passion for what we do may have been somehow dampened in 2022. Maybe COVID dampened that passion. Maybe changing of the guard and government dampened that passion, or or this all the conflict and things that are happening in the world have dampened your passion, all kinds of things, right? And so Marissa, she is the embodiment doula, and so I would love for you to talk about what may have happened in 2022, but how we could not sabotage ourselves in the embodiment. And she dropped out somehow. So hopefully she'll come back. But Emanuela, maybe you can pick that up for us.
Oh wow. I was so entrenched. Thank you so much. Latoya, as well as Heather, for your transparency, because sometimes the things that are hard for us to talk about and to share our stories, it really gives people permission to say, yeah, that happened to me too. And I love, Latoya, how you said you went from victim to survivor to thriver. Now you said, I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then as you've seen, the people in the chat are saying they're in a 5-year sexless marriage, an 8-year sexless marriage. And sometimes people wouldn't even say that if you didn't have the courage, Heather, to step out and say, hey, I went through this. But because you went through it, you didn't stay in it though. You found the courage, you went, you sought out the help over. You could have just stopped at the church, because when the pastor said they can't help you, most of the time, where do I go? I guess I'm stuck. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But I so applaud you that you did not stop there, because you knew something was wrong. And a lot of times we're in relationships and we sit in the thing because we don't know what to do. And the people we know, we think should help us, should have the answers, and they don't. And we stop looking. So I applaud you for not stopping.
Oh, Emanuela, that was gold. That was gold. And I really want to encourage somebody who may be listening here, because I have heard that a lot. Like I've already tried, I've already tried. And what that leads to is a feeling of I'm beyond help. There's no help for me. There's no help for my situation. I'm stuck. And that stuckness is a very slippery slope to some very dangerous grounds. Dangerous grounds. But look how many people, right? Like we're on a live right now. There are 3 people who are, have some overlap in what they do. There are so many people out there who can help you, who are professionals. But I want to encourage people right now that when you're looking for a professional, do you look for people who are like on this stage right now, who have been there and done that, who have gone through, who feel, who understand, right? Not just someone who says, I like money, so I'm going to be a coach. No, somebody who done been through it, right? Someone's like, oh, I love sex, I'm going to be a sex coach. No, someone who has been through, right? Okay. And so encouraging you to connect with people like people who are on here on this stage. So now, Marissa, I would love for you to talk about the embodiment. Yes. And, and sometimes how we can bog ourselves down and self-sabotage ourselves, how we can not do that in 2023, right?
Yes.
And reignite that fireness. Come on, talk to us.
Oh, excuse me for my internet connection was doing a little thing. Okay. But yes, when I think about ways in which I've self-sabotaged, it's mainly around using my voice. Right. And so I realized that when I started breath work for the first time. So breath work is just a way to manipulate your breath. Right. And we all have it. It's available to us at any time. But a lot of times when we are going through, or there's something going on, or we're upset or whatever, even when we're crying, you realize that you hold your breath. Right. Instead of just letting it go. And so the first time I did breath work, I actually was laying on the floor in my living room, and I'm looking up I had these beautiful tiles in the ceiling, and she's saying to breathe out loud. And I was like, I don't want my neighbors to hear me. Right. And that is the first time I realized, like, me self-sabotaging my own voice, the sound of my own voice. And so when I'm talking about orgasmic breathing, or just speaking up, it starts with the breath, right? Or being with yourself. And we do this 3-part breath called a Durga breath. And it is like a circular motion where you breathe in through the belly, in through the chest, and out the mouth. And it's all in your mouth. And you do it for like 20 to 30 minutes, and you start to feel all the tingles within, right? And when we think about breath work, it's not just right, it's singing, it's chanting, it's having sex, it is dancing, it is swimming, it is all of those things. And so when I return back to my breath, especially when there's things going on, either in my relationship, with my friendship, with myself, in my business, I always just return back to the breath. So I would love to invite y'all to do 3 quick breaths with me, if you can still hear me, because my internet connection is doing something funny.
Right. Let's do it. And I'm going to bring on our
Can you
fifth
all
person.
hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Your video's frozen, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I think her screen is frozen.
Okay. All right, Marissa, give us a moment. I'm going to bring on, we'll see if your
I
internet comes back
appreciate y'all
stronger.
bearing with me. There is like a superstorm coming through, so I think that's why there's an issue.
Okay. Can you hear me, Marissa?
I don't think she can because she's
Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. We're going to bring on Katrina here. Katrina, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome. And then Marissa,
Hello,
we'll come back to you. Welcome.
yes.
Listen, Katrina was
Anyways.
originally supposed to be on, but she was stuck in an accident in traffic. So we're glad that she's safe and we're glad that she made it on. While we're waiting for Marissa's video and hopefully internet to come back, we would love for you to tell the good people your magic and what you do.
Hello, everybody. Yes, it like Marissa was saying. For me, it's storming in Atlanta. So when you think you're making a little store run, it turns to ooh, I don't know what happens to the traffic. So I got stuck somewhere that was supposed to be a 10-minute ride, and I got stuck there for about an hour. So but I am Katrina Foster, CEO and co-founder for Trina Foster and Associates, where we prepare business owners to transition from their professional insecurities to logically confident between operational and financial support. So I'm an investment broker, among other things. I'm a financial strategist. And that's my introduction today. Look, I feel so, you guys, I said I'm still hopping on because I made space for this today. And I'm hopping on with ladies that understand struggle. You got to keep on going.
Listen, and I love that. I love that because we were just in Clubhouse the other day talking about, listen, when you think it's a failure, it turns out to be your success and your fortune. We just got to keep going. We just got to keep stepping. Just like Emanuela was alluded to that just a minute ago as we were listening to Heather's story, right? Keep going, you keep trucking, you keep stepping, you keep making strides. And so you will get there. I'm so glad you're here because listen, Trina is the truth, you all, when it comes to financial steps forward. She is the truth. Okay, so Trina, we're going to come back to you because I really want you to tell the good people like a power key that we could use to not self-sabotage our money in 2023. And I know the good people want to hear that. So we'll come there and then we'll come back to you, Emanuela. But before that, Marissa's going to take us into just a taste of this organic.
Taste.
Just
nothing
a taste of this orgasmic. Excuse me, I said organic, but I think they're the same, organic and orgasmic. Let's go. Because orgasm is my organic nature. Hello.
Come on. Thank you.
Hello.
I love that. Okay. I love that. And it starts with you, right? It starts with being in love with you. Yes. Okay. So I was talking about a 3-part breath that is in through the belly, in through the chest, and out the mouth, all using the mouth. And your belly should expand, your chest should expand, and just breathe out. So it's something like this. And if you imagine that you do that for 20 or 30 minutes and you just moving that body, you moving your hips, moving them shoulders, moving those things, you're going to feel the good tingles. You're going to be in connection with yourself and what it is that you okay? And you can share that with your partner. You don't always have to touch and feel and all that stuff. You could just breathe with your partner, and that is a beautiful, beautiful experience. Thank you for breathing with me, y'all.
I love that. My God. Marissa.
Because I did too. I was like, wait a minute.
The breath started off, I was like, hold on, am I having labor pains? But then when she started swerving, I was like, hold on.
Yeah, you get that
Labor.
breathing,
No,
right?
my mind went somewhere totally elsewhere, Katrina. I was like, it was the organic.
Heather, you gonna open this breathing, Heather.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
You
it.
gonna implement this breathing into
Oh,
your
Yeah,
I
life?
add
do
it
all
in,
the
Heather.
time, all the time. I teach this to my clients too. My question is though, when I teach my clients, I'm having them breathe through their nose in the same way and then out through their mouth. So I'm just curious to see from your perspective, what's the difference between breathing in through the mouth or in through the nose?
There's not
Is
really
there a difference?
there's not really much difference. I know for myself specifically, like I feel like, especially if it's with a partner, you breathing in your partner and out, out whatever it is that you have that's stagnant in there. So I like the in through the mouth breath, but it is up to you. I definitely just feel it throughout my whole, all of the chakras in betwixt the middle. Okay. But
I
it
love
doesn't
that. I
it
love
doesn't
it.
matter. You can definitely incorporate breathing through the mouth.
Fantastic. Ooh, that was so good. Thank you, Marissa, for sharing that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about, and I'm coming back to you, Manuela. Katrina, tell the good people how we can. I feel like I need to hold on a break.
Like,
Coming from
how do
that,
you go from that, right? I feel
you
you,
know what
Latoya.
I'm saying?
How do you
How do I
transition from that?
transition? And you know what? We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. Money is sexy.
Oh,
How about
It
that?
is damn sexy. It's freaking sexy.
So
How about that?
it was a great
Absolutely.
lead in because people, a lot of people don't tie those. Let me think about what is it? Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill book.
That's
That goes.
true. He
All of
does
this
talk
is tied
about
to
the
your
sexual
finances.
energy.
Yeah, all of this
Mhm.
is tied to your finances. Don't when you breathe in, partner, no partner, taking care of yourself, self-care, whichever how it goes. Don't you wake up happy to make those goals happen? The fruits of your
Say
labor
it.
just gonna flow. If your mindset is right, the abundance is gonna flow behind it. So all of this is a part. That's why I love jumping on with all of you ladies that are in different industries because it's all aligned. This is a part of I need people to see each one of you before they come to me because I'm not a therapist. And so some of this self-help, yes, I can help reprogram your mind to rethink and find and be true to your boundaries. And that's one of the things that don't self-sabotage what works for someone else and not giving yourself customization, learning to reallocate. It's okay to reallocate. Goals change. Give yourself grace to know that self-sabotage means sometimes you stick into something in your finances, in your life, and it affects your abundance because you couldn't say no. You couldn't let it
Mm,
go. So have
mm.
space for that to do reallocate that energy, reallocate what your priorities, what seems to be a priority or seems to be getting to you to your goals, reallocate those things. And don't be afraid to find your frugal spot. It's somewhere that you don't, it's okay. For me, you
Is
ladies,
that like
look,
the G spot, Katrina, for
yes,
finances?
finding your frugal spot is like your G spot. Exactly, Heather. Your frugal spot for me is like your G spot. And see, and why I call it the frugal spot is because this is the place I gotta tell other stuff no because I need my budget to have that allowance for me to tickle myself where I like to be frugal at, like spending extra. Like you ladies are y'all got on makeup and all of this stuff. Y'all see, I was in the car, I don't even have on lashes, right? It don't even bother me that I got on here and my eyes just as bald today. Because guess what? Guess what? I didn't have the proper time allocated because that's not me. I just get up and I'm like, okay, I need to do better because I'm showing up with all the fabulous ladies, but spending that kind of money on just buying it for me to have every day, that's not that I don't put that in my budget. And I'm not ashamed to say I don't put that in my budget. But when I need to, guess what I do have in my budget? My frugal spot is to make room for somebody to, when I want to get all dressed up and glams up, my frugal spot is going to pay somebody. So I say no to buying the cosmetics on the regular because it's not even, I don't really know how to draw my eyebrows on, y'all. So it'll be a mess. It'll be a waste of money. find your true spots that are true to you. If you know that's not your money, shouldn't be buying supplies, looking at you. Don't waste your time looking at YouTube videos trying to learn how to do it. Like during the pandemic, I waste money trying to learn to treat my own hair and do my own hair, because that's what you do. I'm not that lady. So my frugal spot is cut the cost of trying to be like everybody else. Oh, you can do it at home. You a girl, you a woman, you should know how to do that. No, my frugal spot is I'm gonna reallocate that to somebody else doing it for me when I need to do the extra. And I'll learn how to love me more, make sure I get my facials and take care of my skin so I can just show up.
Okay.
So I can just show up.
Customize it to you and love you. That helps your finances a lot. So those are customize your budget to you and your personality and prioritize. And don't be afraid to go against the grain. Whatever that feels like for you. Don't go against the grain, because your finances are it's a customization, just like your care plan. Like the breathing through the nose or breathing through the mouth. It depends on how much air I can get in. Breathing through the mouth does give me more. It fills my lungs, and I know I need to work on lung capacity. But if on a day that I don't have that much capacity, guess what? I breathe through my nose because I'm going to still get the job done. It's just that I step back a little bit more, and I got to get my pleasure a different way. So find what works for you. My number one thing is don't sabotage yourself running behind other people's goals. Customize it to your personality, and everyone, let's sit down and have a prep call, because I'm the friend to let's do that. Girl, you a shoe buyer? You might be a fancy shoe person, but you might be a thrift store when it comes to your shirts and business suits or whatever. You may be Target versus Express. Know you and don't be afraid to customize and go with your grain. And you wear the clothes, you wear the items, you wear the things that your money is allocated to. And where you plant your seeds, if your money go where your heart is, it will automatically invest in purpose and grow and prosper how you would like to.
Yes.
You better come on.
Beautifully said. Beautifully
And you know what I was
said.
thinking too, Katrina, is when you're doing something that's against your grain, there's an extra weight in your mental capacity and in your emotions. So not only are you spending extra money that is, you lose out on extra money that you could save or whatever, it also puts you into a kind of a downward spiral of mental health. And so really you have to take care of what you need to take care of. I love what you shared. That was powerful.
Yeah,
Very
finances is
powerful.
like riding on the highway. We probably all on our way. So most of us are in the $1 Million Moms Club, so we all on our way to $1 million. In the however saved and earned. How about it? Saved and earned. But I can't be over in Heather's lane, even though we all on this road to $1 million. I probably can't keep up with Heather's pace. I got to know when to stay in my lane or change lanes, because we can get in the lane and drift together on this route like we're doing. But sometimes I might got to pull back. So it may be going more of my speed, or it may be my time to get ahead. Your finances are the same way. You can't always go behind because our primary goal seems the same. Our road and the vehicle that we are in are different. And you have to know the mental aspects around it, because you got to say no. Sometimes you got to say no to even yourself, so that you allow yourself to rest, to have room to make it. The things that you do, if you're passionate about it, it's going to show, and you're going to prosper financially. The financial part is just setting up that plan that supports your vision.
Yes. Yes. Ooh, she said, I got to type that in the chat. Set up the plan that supports your vision. Most important word being your vision, right? I love that. I'll tell you, I love that because I remember watching the Olympics, and I can't remember if it was Michael Phelps or his partner, but the person was swimming, and he was looking so much at the person in the other lane that the commentators were like, that's causing him to slow down, right? And
Mm.
so you have to not look and not pay attention to the other lane. You might glance a little bit and say, okay, that's where they are, that's where they are. But you focusing on your lane, because at the end of the day, you're running your own race. At the end of the day, it's your time that you're guarding. It's your time that you're making the best use of. It's your time that you're putting all of your energy in. So that was perfect, beautiful. And so I cannot believe it. I know time is almost done, y'all. We done been up here for almost an hour. It has been so fun. Like this crew right here, this is the golden crew right here. Listen, somebody out there, you're like, this is all the pieces of your life. You put all these pieces together in your life right now, 2023. Oh, you ain't said nothing but a thing. Emanuela, bring us home. Bring us home. Give us some power. What we do not want to sabotage in 2023.
Oh my God, this has been so amazing. Thank you so much. I'm thinking about self-sabotaging. We talked about so many things before, and I'm thinking about the moment that I realized I was self-sabotaging and didn't even realize it. I remember sitting in my car around the corner from my boyfriend's house a few years back. And I'm around the corner spying on this man because he told me he was going on a business trip, but something in the inside of me told me he was lying. You know,
Go
you've been in
ahead.
that relationship, you just
Go
knew
ahead.
somebody was lying to you. So here I was sitting around the corner, borrowed a friend's car, spying on this man. And I'm
Listen.
sitting in this car. I'm
Not even borrowed.
calling him and say, how is it going? And he's telling me this full story. Oh yeah, I just stopped for gas. I'm meeting up with some people, and all the while I am watching this man right outside his front door. And as I
Mm,
sat in that car, I said, when did I become that woman?
mm,
When did I become that girl that hid around corners spying on a man?
mm.
And it was at that moment I said, you know what? I deserve better than this. I
Yes.
don't deserve to be in a relationship where I have to borrow cars and sneak around corners because I knew I was in a relationship and I wasn't being treated the way that I knew I deserved to be treated. It was after I left that moment, I had to come to Jesus moment with Emanuela and realize I was self-sabotaging, trying to hold on to something that was not even for me and trying to make it for me. And I needed to
Ooh.
release that to make space for the thing that God had for me all along. So I'm telling you, we self-sabotage by trying to hold on to relationships, to people that were never intended to be in our lives in the first place. So you gotta realize your worth and step up, and you gotta let some things go because you're self-sabotaging. You're saying you want real, genuine love, but you settling for the relationship where you know you're not being treated, you're being lied to, abused, and all these things. And because you don't think you deserve better, you sit in that thing. So you are self-sabotaging. You can never receive true love until you let go of the thing that is not currently serving you. So I really
Mm.
had to wake up to that.
Woo!
You just
Emanuela,
preached the whole sermon.
yes,
That was so good.
yes,
That
you
was so
did.
good.
You unlock somebody today. Let me tell you, somebody is going to listen to this, or is listening on replay, or is going to find it on YouTube somewhere, and is going to be like, she is so right. I'm sabotaging myself. I deserve better than this. Somebody is going to listen and be like, that's me right now. And hear that and be unleashed and unlocked. Thank you for sharing, for being vulnerable and sharing your truth and sharing your power and sharing your story. That was super powerful. Listen, everybody who's listening, whether you're a man, woman, whoever you are, what these ladies in general have said, you cannot hold on to what has been, to what is the past, to what is not for you, to what is not for your best, and think that you're going to be manifesting in 2023. You're not. You've got to let it go. Release all of the things that are not for you, that are not aligned, that are not up to par with your worthiness and your deservedness. Let that go. Stop self-sabotaging yourselves in these things so that you can move forward in your 2023 and have the best year that you can have. Listen, I was looking at a post on LinkedIn not too long ago. It was like, time is short. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody. To nobody. You're thinking, oh, okay, when the kids leave, I'll allow myself to have an orgasm. You know, when they go to school, when the kids go to college, I'll start investing, right? When the kids go to college, I'm going to open myself up to that next, that wonderful, beautiful relationship that I know I'm worthy of and I deserve. And what I'm telling you is that day is not promised to you. So you can deserve and be in your worthiness now. You can walk in the joy of that process and that journey right now. Right now. And I'm just going to share this last little bit before we go. Do not self-sabotage your energy space. And that is super important to me. Do not self-sabotage your energy space. Listen, it's interesting because women typically come into this power like when they're pregnant. All of a sudden, when they're pregnant, it's like, no, can't everybody be in my space? Can't everybody be breathing? Can't everybody be touching me, right? All of a sudden, we come into this power, right? And what I'm telling you is, without pregnancy, you are in charge and in the power of your energy space. You have the right, the power, the worthiness, the deservedness to clear that space, to keep it clear, to allow for not only your body, but the space and the energy around you to be your sanctuary of peace and happiness and joy, because you deserve that. And you don't have to do nothing to deserve that. You deserve it because you are. Period.
I love that.
Period. So this has been an amazing and powerful live. I don't even have words for where this live went. Everybody listening, if you want to work with these ladies, I have dropped their information. We'll drop it in the chat again, but look them up on LinkedIn. They're easily accessible. And I'm telling you, you hook up with any one of these ladies. With any one of these ladies, your 2023 will be amazing. So I am sending you everyone.
Thank you so much. And, can I say one last thing before we go? Because our sex lives, you guys, we are self-sacrificing our pleasure. And I really want to encourage every single woman out there, please stop self-sabotaging and self-sacrificing your pleasure because you think that you're not worthy of it, or you only need to please a man and that's all you need to worry about. Please, 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 your pleasure is a priority. God created you to experience pleasure. I don't want you to miss out, especially as we're heading into the new year. You deserve pleasure and you deserve to experience the type of sex life that you want. And so I hope that this entire panel today has really encouraged you to just go for abundance in 2023. Go for your best. I forget what Katrina said, but rise up to that amazing level within yourself that you feel the calling in your spirit. You feel it. She's literally in there calling you out, and you're ignoring her. You're pushing her down. You're self-sabotaging. You feel the calling. Allow her to come out and express herself in a way that feels good to you. And I promise you, your 2023 is going to be powerful because you allowed that person that you were created to be all along to play and to come out. You're going to have so much fun this year. I can't wait to see what everyone is going to be up to this year. Thank you, LaToya, for having us.
You're so very welcome. And just this last bit, I am hosting the Experience Resurrection, Unearthing the Goddess Within. And if you, and it is super powerful. And we're not just going to do coaching. We're not just going to do talking. We're not just going to go through the workbook, but I'm going to lead energy clearing, healing, balancing, and reactivation. every week. So whatever it is that we're working on, whatever it is that you've brought to the table, whatever it is that you've allowed to surface, we're going to do the energy work. We're going to heal, clear, release, balance, cut the cords. We're going to do all the things so that you can be your highest and next level self in 2023. So that aligned woman who is like, yes, I know that a lot of me has been buried and I'm ready to resurrect. I'm ready to be my best organic, authentic, alive self. I'm ready for you. So if you're interested, please message me. Let's talk about where you can go with your resurrected self. And I'm going to thank you, ladies, so much, because time I know is valuable. Katrina's going to be like almost as valuable as money. But
no, Katrina. No. Actually, time is my number one resource. Time is something we cannot get back, and money can be produced over and over. So my health is wealth is number one, because if you don't have you can't prepare to live. Well, so as die if you're not in a healthy state. So time is number one. We can't get time back, but we can make money. And if you do it with your passion, we can make money.
Thank you. So with that being said, thank you, ladies, for lending your time, your valuable, precious time, not only for this live, but for everybody listening and for everybody to move forward. I know that people have been encouraged and unlocked today because of what you have given today. So thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Stand by for the outro that my 14-year-old son has created music for. So everybody give him some love and stand by for the outro.
All right. I'm excited.